Hello, my name is Jason, and welcome back to Things I Like. This is episode 30-something of Things I Like, the show where I talk about things I like. It's been a while, dude. Sorry. Let me address that. So first of all, it's been a crazy couple of weeks for me. Made no content on the channel for like 2 weeks, and I haven't streamed or anything. I'm sorry. It's been crazy. It's been busy. I can't really say what I was doing, but it's okay. I'm back now, hopefully for good. We'll see. And the other thing with things content specifically referring to things I like and things I don't like, the alternating series I do. My last things I like was a couple months ago, and then I was trying to think of things I don't like for my things I don't like, and then I never thought of anything, and now we're here. And things I like just kept piling up, and then I was like, man, what do I do? So today, I was like, I'm just gonna go out of order because I'm tired of just waiting to find things I don't like, because why spread that negativity if I don't have to? So welcome to Things I Like. Number one, dude, Severance. That show is so good. All my people out there who have watched Severance are like, you're right, Jason, Severance is so good. I love that show. It's underrated. And to you I say, I agree. Severance is so underrated. Yes, it does get talked about a good amount, and people glaze it all the time. But man, I feel like it should be talked about more for how good that show is, dude. That show is so good. That show is the only show probably either in a very long time or in forever that has made me like audibly react and be so engaged in the show. Like at the end of the first season, I was like, what? Oh, no way, dude. And my roommate who was sitting there like gaming next to me was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, dude, this show is gas. You should watch it. And he was like, what's it on? And I was like, Apple TV. And he was like, what the hell? And like, I agree, man. I'm not watching anything on Apple TV other than Ted Lasso and Severance. But guys, trust me, it's worth it. I mean, I think it's worth it. There's probably a free trial. You could pirate it. I'm not saying you should. I'm not endorsing pirating, but you could if you were a bad person. But you watch the show, guys. Any means necessary, except for illegal activities. Watch the show. It's a good show. I promise you. Dude, that show was on my list for like a year and a half, and I never watched it. And I regret it so much. Dude, you guys lock in. Watch the show. It's so good. Anyway, also, if you guys watch the show, then you can come on my streams and tell me you've watched the show, and we can talk about it freely. We can speak freely and discuss our theories. That's the dream. But like right now, I have like barely anyone to talk about it with, especially the new season. Crazy. Anyway, number 2. I've been reading Lord of the Rings. Those books are crazy good, guys. A lot of you out there are probably like, Lord of the Rings is good? Like, yeah, I know. It's not like a crazy opinion or anything. But guys, I'm just discovering how good these things are. The first time I was exposed to Lord of the Rings was like a bunch of people like yapping about how good it is and like glazing it and like talking about the movies and like dressing up in the freaking stuff and like being, you know, nerds at like Comic-Con or whatever. And sorry to all my viewers who might go to Comic-Con or are nerds. I'm grown now. It's fine. You can do. I think that's so awesome, honestly. And hey, maybe I'll do the same thing in like a month because I'm enjoying these books so much. But guys, if you haven't read Lord of the Rings, if you don't read at all, first of all, start reading. You're lame. You're not accomplishing anything. You're not cooler for not reading. You're not like, don't be one of those people who's like, oh, I don't read. I was like that for so long. Lame, dude. Lame. Reading is so awesome. Oh my god. My brain is like creating all these worlds, and I'm like, whoa. I'm really tired. I'm really tired. But my brain is like creating all these worlds around all these characters, and I'm so invested in this story, and I'm like, I feel like I'm discovering so much It's so awesome. I want everyone to read Lord of the Rings. I think it should be required reading for like everyone. It is so awesome. Like I'm like, let me look. I'm at the end of the second book. I have like 50 pages left in the second book of the 3. I don't want it to end. You know why I don't want it to end, dude? I looked it up. I was like, I want to read more like that after I finish it. So I looked up, like, are there books like Lord of the Rings? And I found a Reddit post because that's where, I get all my information. I found a Reddit post that was like, is there anything as good as Lord of the Rings that I can read after Lord of the Rings? I'm out to finish the book series. So I'm like, same predicament. Let's see the comments. Like thousands of replies. I kid you not. I scrolled through like 300. Every single reply. Guys. Every single reply was like, there's nothing like it. There's nothing as good. Dude, no. Like, why am I reading the best thing first? I feel the same way with Severance. I feel like I'm going to finish Severance and then never find anything as good. It, like, sucks. I'm, like, on a generational freaking media consumption run. I'm, like, reading the best thing and watching the best thing. And now I'm going to be so sad when it's over. Which is also making me procrastinate on it. But, whatever. That's my own issue, man. Lord of the Rings, gas. Actually, gas. Read them. They are so good. And if you haven't read in a long time, genuinely, The Hobbit is an insanely good, like, intro back into reading book. I hadn't read in a very long time, and then I started reading The Hobbit because I was like, classic, and dude, that book is so awesome, too. That book is awesome. Actually, bonus things I like real quick. Reading Lord of the Rings made me start a D&D campaign. I have played D&D a few times in my past. Yes, I have. And I dare call anyone else a nerd, dude. But I've never been the dungeon master. So I was like, I don't know how to do that. But then I was reading this, and I was like, I can do that. So I started writing a campaign, and like, doing all this like prep work and making this world and stuff. And I thought it was going to take me a really long time, but it only took me like a week because I was up till like 5 a.m. every night making it. Why am I so tired all the time? I need to start sleeping better. Anyway, but it was worth it because I made a sick campaign, and then I brought it home to my friends and we played it, and it was so fun, dude. And I'm gonna keep going on it. I have like literally like 30 sessions worth of content ready, if not more, and that's a lot. If you've ever played D&D, you're like, holy cow, Jason, chill. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm having fun. So read Lord of the Rings. That's like the best thing ever. Like, oh my god. I cannot glaze it enough. And if you guys are out there, like, it can't be that good. He's a nerd. You have no idea. You have no idea what you're talking about. Also, I read the first Dune, and then I watched the first Dune movie, and I'm gonna watch the second Dune movie soon, because I've heard they're very good. And they are very good. And reading the book first made them so much better. So I literally cannot freaking wait to watch all the extended versions of Lord of the Rings, because I'm binging them all in one day. It's going to take like 16 hours because they're 4 hours each, and I am so excited. I am so excited. That is partly the reason I'm like binging the books, is because I'm so excited to binge the movies, dude. I love Lord of the Rings. Anyway, last but not least, actually, kind of is the least, because it's a very recent one. Maybe I should save it for a future one, but I'll just talk about it briefly here and then maybe bring it up in more detail later. I started watching The Simpsons, and you're like, what? The Simpsons? Doesn't that have like 1 billion seasons, and isn't it like 1 billion hours long? Isn't that like the One Piece of like American television? And like, yeah, you're right. But I just started watching the first season, and man, that show's funny. That's a good show. Like, first season Simpsons, I thought it was going to be kind of like, Like, I was planning on watching all the Simpsons, and I was like, I'm willing to slog through a couple, like, bad seasons that I don't really get the humor in, because I'm not, like, from that generation. But, like, it's funny. It's, like, funny, and it's not only funny, but it's, like, heartwarming. Like there's certain moments that are very like, I think the reason the show took off in the first place, in my opinion, from like watching the very first season and like placing myself in that time period, is like it's funny and it's silly and it's goofy and it's crazy and it's like oh the dad, oh Homer's so like mean and bad and like Bart's so crazy and like whatever and unruly and like all those things. But it's not just like a comedy show. Like the family genuinely feels like very very real in a way. Like they feel very like I don't know. It's like what a family is. It's weird. Like I don't know. There's just certain aspects of it. There's certain moments that you're like, oh. It's almost uncanny how close this strikes to like growing up, or like home generally. Not in like a bad way. Not in like a my dad strangles me all the time way. In more of like a just little like weird moments of like humanity in the show way. And that's really interesting. And I recommend you watch the freaking Simpsons too. I'm like 9 episodes into the first season, so it's not like a true recommendation. And there have been a couple jokes. There's been a couple of oh that one's making me sweat kind of jokes, but it's also like it's still really good. And I'm not I don't know. I don't want to say I forgive it because like they probably knew better, but at the same time, I think it's meant in jest. I don't think it's actually comes from a place of hate. Not that that excuses it, but that's better than a lot of things that in the time that it was made. You tell me, man. I'm not a freaking arbiter of what's right and wrong in these debates. You know, I'm just a guy watching a funny show from the 80s. I think it's the 80s? When did The Simpsons first air, man? Let me do a fact check on this. 1989. So yeah, the 80s. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Oh my god. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.